Hey, what's up guys? Barak Gage here, and today, in this Order and Chaos video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Ranger talents, and more specifically, my Ranger talents, like what I like to run with for PvP and PvE. This video was suggested by Ieza Gazabara. I'm 100% sure I just butchered that name. Dude, please let me know in the comments how to pronounce your name because that was just awful. But if you guys have any ideas for the future videos, let me know in the comments. But without further ado, let's get into this. So the way I think we can do this, guys, is I'm gonna go to the shop, and for you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and buy a Stone of Rebirth for 10 runes, which is going to let me reset my talents. So let's go ahead and do that. Stone of Rebirth. Booyah. Alright, so now we're gonna go into the talents, and the way I think I'm gonna do this, guys, is pretty simple. I think we can just go through one by one, and I can talk about each spell and when its inscription would be useful. So triple strike, obviously, this is like your bread and butter, right? You're always going to be running with your triple strike. For me, guys, I do like to go for just the flat DPS bonus, but I feel like for PvP, obviously the movement speed could help. Now 15% isn't too much, to be honest, guys. With the next update, monks are getting a passive. That's right, a passive, so one of these, they don't have to worry about it, that lets them move 20% faster, right? So even if you have this inscription, they're still going to be running 5% faster than you if you know they don't even have a slow. So which, I mean, they do have slows, but if they don't even have one, they'll still be faster. So to be honest, I feel like just trying to nuke them down could be a little better. And then the last one here, the skills cost becomes 20 energy. This is good too. I use a method from World of Warcraft called focus stacking, which is when I try to burst somebody down, I literally let my focus regenerate all the way. So I feel like I don't really have to worry about the lower energy cost. But if you're new, I totally could see why going for Rejuvenating Rage would be worth it. But for now, we're going to go ahead and go with Wildfire. Scattershot. This is probably the ability I use least, to be honest. It's good damage, for sure. But the AoE aspect in this game, you'll rarely ever fight more than 3 or 4 mobs. I mean, in the Shifting Sands dungeon, I use it probably more than ever. Because the first boss, there's like 3 of them. And then the second boss, you have to... If you guys haven't done Shifting Sands, you probably won't know what I'm saying, but the second boss in this dungeon, right, and the first boss, I use it a lot because just helps, man. Helps kill a lot of things at once. That's what I'm trying to say here, guys. I'm rambling. So launches 7 arrows. For this one, again, I just go for the flat DPS bonus, but the heal could be useful again in PvP situations. If you can, let's see, if you're in a battlefield, like I'm just thinking about this logically. If you're in a battlefield, there's only 3 enemies and then the adds, right? So the most you would ever be able to hit is probably 6 with 1 scatter shot, 6 enemies, which is 6% health, which is barely a monk's healing palm, right? So this to me just seems kind of useless, to be honest. And then Swift Arrow. Every successful hit will reduce the cooldown time of this skill by 1 second and recover 5 energy. Now this is okay, but it costs 45 energy to do that. Again, guys, that means you have to hit 9 targets to refill your scatter shot focus with this skill. So again, that's just so unrealistic. I don't know when that happens. In the dungeons I was talking about, you only hit 3 or 4. So again, I just go for the flat DPS bonus on scatter shot. All right, Stunning Shot, probably my favorite spell as a ranger other than stealth. This shoots an enemy and stuns it for like no time, right? It's a mini stun. And it deals physical damage. But what it does is it allows you to recover your energy 150% faster for 7 seconds. Now, energy it's your skill, guys. It's your focus. You need it to do your damage. So, what I like to do with this is either the 10 seconds or the critical chance increase. And I'll talk to you about why they both could be useful. So, the 10 seconds, obviously, guys. This gives you 3 seconds more of 170% more, 150% more focus. I cannot talk today, guys. Sorry. And it lasts for 10 seconds. So I mean, you'll get more focus basically. It's more uptime. And the cooldown on this skill, you have to remember, is only 15 seconds. So if you do this, you're gonna have 150% focus regen for 2/3 of your fights, rather than less than 1/2. So this is really good for PvE. And then for PvP, I think this one, just that flat damage, because in PvP, guys, burst damage is king. You want to be able to kill something fast, and 20% critical chance is so much. Now, Archer Shield, guys, I have to talk about this. This gives you a shield, and it could be good for leveling, I guess, but in reality, in dungeons, I don't like to tank as the Archer. I will always let my Blood Knight or my Monk do that. I'm not my Warrior do that. I'm not a fan of tanking because I'm squishy, man. So I don't like the fact that the target is taunted. If you guys don't know what a taunt is, it just makes the monster attack you, right? So you use this on a dungeon boss, you use this on Fluffy. Fluffy's gonna eat your face, dude. Like, she's going on you after you use this. So me personally, guys, for now, I would go with Power Through for PvE. But honestly, if you're gonna get both on this, that's totally worth it. Alright, Deadly Trap. So this skill's really confusing to a lot of rangers because it actually doesn't stun your target or slow them by itself. It just deals damage when they walk over it. So, you know, you think about something walking into a bear trap, it probably wouldn't just walk away, right? Well, you can just basically make this trap do whatever you want. So the trap will poison targets for 5 seconds. This will make it do more damage. So obviously you want to do this in dungeons and in PvP, I guess, if you want more damage. Then you get a 30% slow. Now 30% for 5 seconds, that's a long time, guys, especially with a 12-second cooldown. That means you can keep your target slowed for nearly half of the fight with just this. And like I said, guys, I mean 30%, that's almost a third of their movement speed. That's a decent chunk, bro. So this can't be looked at differently. And now Ensnare would probably be my go-to, just because I think immobilizations are a lot more situationally effective than slows. I don't want to get too theory crafty, but I do think an immobilize could be way more helpful than a slow in most situations if you play your cards right. Now a slow obviously is great, but you gotta remember, in immobilize, they're stuck there. That means you can do anything. You can, you know, you can get away, you can stealth, you can re-initiate. I don't know, there's so many things you can do when the person just can just straight up not move. So for this one, guys, it's pretty much, I would say, between Toxic Trap for dungeons and Immobilize for PvP. Marked Man. Marks a target, increasing the damage it receives by 20% for 8 seconds. Now, guys, I'm going to be honest. I always run Reinvigorate just because when I'm in a dungeon, I like to feel useful. I like to feel like I can do something to kind of help the team other than just nuke the boss. So Reinvigorate actually has saved me many times. So I think it's a great ability. It does decrease the time by 2 seconds, but because the skill has no cost, to me it's okay to just use it a little bit more sparingly. You know, when you feel a little bit of danger, you can actually use it equivalently. Now Stakeout would be good too for nuking bosses, because 12 seconds with a 20-second cooldown means there's only 8 seconds that they're not taking 20% extra damage. That's pretty sweet. And then you combine that, or you look at Wide in the Net. This would be good for AoE targeting, but again, like multi-shot, guys, or scatter shot, I just don't kill that many like groups of enemies at once. It's more often that it's one big thing that I'm trying to nuke down. So for this one, guys, I would go with Reinvigorate for the more defensive play, or Stakeout for the more offensive play. Now, Arrow Rain. This is probably the best AoE that the archer has. Launches a volley of arrows. You know what it does. You've seen it. You've been killed by it. It's a great spell. It's 5 seconds of arrows raining down from the sky. Like, what more could you want, you know? So Ignite inflicts a poisoning effect for 5 seconds that stacks up to 3 times. Guys, okay, if you haven't looked at the patch notes, I haven't made a video on it. Maybe I will. Archers are getting this new poison next patch that they can stack up to like 20 times. That combined with this could do some serious damage, guys. I'm talking serious damage over time, like real things to worry about. However, the Lightning Strike also is fantastic. I use Lightning Strike personally, but I could see how slow motion would be good for PvP. Obviously, this is probably what you're going to be running with in PvP. But Ignite, but if it's between Ignite and Lightning Strike, I would go with Lightning Strike, because Lightning Strike, the enemies can kind of move out of the AoE, and then the lightning will still jump between targets that aren't quite in the AoE, while Ignite, they have to be in that AoE to get the damage, if that makes sense. So Lightning Strike, I think, just more situationally will hit more targets. So that's the one I use. First, we have to learn the spell. Cool. All right. Now, my favorite ability, guys, the reason I play the Ranger, this is it. If they take this away, oh my god, guys, I'm going to be so salty. Leap 6 meters and enter a stealth stance for 5 seconds, reducing your value by 90%. The stance renders you invisible to enemies and breaks upon using spells or attacking. That's awesome, guys. You become invisible. When I hear invisible, I think invincible, all right? Because nothing can hit you. While 90% of your threat, I mean, you still have 10%, right? So if you're really pissing off a boss, it'll come after you. But I have never, ever gone into stealth and still died. Even in dungeon. I mean, unless my teammates are doing stupid shit. But like, if I'm the last one alive in a dungeon and I stealth, that boss resets. I'm alive. I can go get a drink while my buddies are running back. You know, in PvP, when I'm trying to do my daily quests and 4 people come try to gank me, you know what I mean? Not today, dude. I just sneak out of there. This spell is amazing just by itself, guys. But for leveling, 100%, guys, you're going to want to go with swiftness. I cannot tell you how much this helped me while I leveled. I didn't have a mount until like months after I hit level 45. They just didn't add him yet. I'm not a noob. Well, I am a noob, but that's unrelated. So the swiftness... Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, swiftness? No. It's sorry, moving target. Moving target is what you're going to want to do while leveling because it gives you 50%. Yes, all right, I'm sorry. I had to think there. I'm brain fart, guys. Moving target, you get 50% more movement speed and you take 50% more damage. Guys, you're not going to die too much while you're leveling, but 50% movement speed will get you places fast, all right? So I would run with this because it's just movement speed, you know? But then when you get to max level, guys, I always run swiftness or empowered. I think empowered is probably the better one. Again, it's more situational. For PvP, I feel like swiftness could be the better choice if you're not going to go with the movement speed because it affects all of your other skills 100% for every single other skill. If you use that correctly in your rotation, that can give you some serious uptime on your opponents. So I would run swiftness in battlefields personally, but empowered will definitely increase your damage. And moving target, like I said, guys, go ahead and get that for leveling. So I'm going to go ahead and get swiftness. Fires a powerful shot at the enemy. Sniper. Oh yeah, guys. All right. If you watched my, like 2 years ago, I made a video, 5 things I love about Order and Chaos. 1, I think I was talking about why I love the Archer, right? And it's because I love to snipe stuff. I love to kill stuff from far away, and I just don't click with the mage class in any sort of video game ever. I just never rolled a mage. It doesn't fit me. I feel like if we lived in medieval times, I wouldn't have powers, dude. I would have a bow and arrow. But anyways, ranting again. So this spell is like your meat, you know, this is what's going to be dealing that big chunk of damage, that big burst that's going to get people to say what the, you know, WTF after you fight them in a duel, right? So this is like your big boy shot. So Sharpshooter definitely works here, all right? 50% critical chance. That means you're going to get those big yellow numbers way more, you know, 50% more. And there's no reason not to want that. I mean, that's just a huge chunk of damage. However, a 3-second immobilize, guys, we were talking about the traps earlier. If you get the 2-second immobilize here and you combo that with this, that's 5 seconds of immobilization. You know, it's just stuff to think about. While it wouldn't help you in a dungeon, situationally, 5 seconds of immobilization, that's crazy, guys. And then hasten, 30% chance to refresh its cooldown time. You guys have to remember, even though it refreshes its cooldown time, it still has a cost of 30. So you don't get everything back, right? To me, this doesn't seem that worth it. I would definitely go with Sharpshooter for PvE and PvP situationally, and Daze for PvP. All right, that's all of them. So we can go ahead, and I'm just gonna run through and put them all on my bar really quick. So we got Sniper, we got Deadly Trap with Toxic Trap, we have the Marked Man with Reinvigorate, Arrow Rain with Lightning and Sneak, we have Swiftness, and finally, guys, Sniper, we have Sharpshooter. So those are my four. Those are my talent setups for both PvE and PvP, and I don't really mess with these too much, guys. The equipped skill. Oh, I didn't mean to learn that, but that works for some situations. I like to go for No Mercy and for Impetus. Now I do that because Eagle Eye you actually get if you have all of your cards. If I go here to cards, I don't have an armor card right now because I'm a total noob. But if you can get one card for a monster, terrain, resource, and armor in your deck, it literally gives you the Eagle Eye passive skill. So you don't have to worry about putting your points in that. So, No Mercy, Impetus, and then these are my talent setups, guys. I have no idea how long this video was. I tend to ramble, but I really think I could help you guys. If you're new to the Ranger class, I would just copy the setup. If you guys are better than me, I would love to know. I would love to know in the comments what you guys think I should do differently. If you guys have any ideas, questions, or comments, please let me know in the comments below, guys. As usual, my name is Barack Gage, and thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.